What's up? What's up? What's up? Can y'all hear me good? Hey, Kathy, how you doing? Give me 1 second. One quick second. All right. I'll let a few people come on first before I get to going. Okay. Shaker Maker asks, are you following Donna Adelson's trial? A little bit. I should be paying attention more, but I really should be. But I haven't. I've been focusing on Madeline Soto a lot more. But I know what happened with Harvey and the wiretaps and all that. But I said this plenty of times. I need to finish Wendy's Television Part 8, which I think will be my focus for right now, probably after today. All right, let me I want to talk about the last video I uploaded. Did y'all get to see it while it was up? Okay. Okay. Here's what's going on. So I'll give you the preface to how all this happened. So I didn't go through it in full detail in the video. I wanted the video to just be like 15 minutes max, and that's where it was. So here's what's going on. Like toward the end of last month, up until toward the end of last month, I've been paying attention to what's going on Reddit. And when in the Jen Soto sub, I noticed that one of my posts just got blocked immediately. And I was just like, what's going on with that? So I asked the moderator what was going on. So I had to repost it. And I thought it was weird that my post would be blocked like sight unseen. And so I kept that in mind, but the moderator was the one that was talking real reckless. Like at first was really like we should collaborate together, and I'll do this and you. Nah, I don't do that. I don't do stuff like that. I don't do collaborations. Mean we're doing similar things. Like you telling me to slow mo this or do that. It's not a collaboration. That's what people hire me to do. Like if you want me to make a video for you, I'll do that. But that's not what you're trying to do. But they gave me a lot of praise in the beginning, and but this but I had a feeling about this because in the DMs, I don't want to say that I was spot on about it, but I had a feeling that there was a familiarity to the way that they were wording things. And basically it went like this. So I was at the gym, and someone told me that someone was talking about a theory of mine on Reddit, and they didn't tag me, so it didn't show up in my notifications. So I was like, oh, let me go look. And I read it, and I was like, okay. And I start scrolling through reading the comments, not so much for like people that uh not so much for people that would be like agreeing or disagreeing. I just want to see like what the temperature was in there. So I noticed that that moderator was just like immediately refuting what I was saying, which to find out they didn't even watch the video. So they said they would watch the video, and then when they do, they're not getting, I guess, the people aren't like just like people are still like, well, I still want to see what he has to say. And because my with the person who originally posted that, made that post, was referencing my last live stream, which was like a month ago. So I I just thought maybe I'll just write in there like it's not a all out like thoroughly explained theory, but I at least tried to explain how I came up with the theory, my types of sources of information, things like that. So I'm not just like, so if they didn't see the live stream, they would at least know that I'm just not throwing this out there for nothing. And then that the moderator goes and makes a whole new post and says like some folks say that like some folks like I'm the source of that theory that you're refuting, and it doesn't make sense. Like if you have an argument, if you're trying to make an argument, if you've been through high school or anything like that, how about or maybe college. Shit, I didn't even go to college, like a 4-year school. So it's like if I know this, y'all gotta know it. All right. So if you make an argument, if Blue Vape is saying this theory, and you're the Orange Vape, and you're saying no, I don't think that's right. Blue Vape has the opportunity to at least be heard in their own words before Orange Vape starts talking, right? Orange Vape doesn't paraphrase what Blue Vape is saying and saying, now here's what I think. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. So when I saw that, I was like, some folks, and I'm not like trying to be like, who I am, but you do. Even if you didn't, you would still have to cite all your sources. And if you think you're right, so much so that feel the need to refute what I'm saying, you would let my own words speak for themselves. But no, they don't do that. They spend, I don't know how much longer of a time writing 4 or 5 paragraphs trying to make what I'm sound naive or whatever. So Claire, Claire, thank you so much. I think that's hold up. I think that's my first live stream super chat, yo. Thank you so much. Oh, Jay with the $5. Thank you, Jay. Let me break this down. Let me not get too distracted. So when I say that, this person just spirals. I'm still at the gym. I'm still trying to, and I would go back and look, and they're like, oh, what type of stuff are they saying? They're like, not everybody knows who you are, or I was trying to be respectful and not say your name. No, it's not about respect. You can be disrespectful if you want to. Cite your sources. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't making sense. Then this person goes off on some kind of LinkedIn resume bomb. Like, just, as I said in the video, rabid credentialism. I've never seen someone say, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've done that. They said, I'm a 40-year, oh shit, I should know this by heart. I'm a 40-year nurse, ICU nurse, ER nurse. In the DM, they told me a psychiatric nurse, which is convenient because we were talking in the DM. We were once talking about Jen Soto's medication, so of course there's a psychiatric nurse. There are all kinds of nurses. Then there are 20+ year attorney, and then on top of that, a community advocate. And they edited their last post before that and said that they worked in the prisons. And then I'm not responding to any of this. So they take their talents over to YouTube and try to come over to my YouTube channel and taunt me, like, where are you at? Like, where are you? You're not gonna, I've been helping people all my life. My parents are migrant farm workers. I don't care. I just said cite your sources, and this is what I get. Oh, and then they said they spoke in front of Congress to redo the Violence Against Women Act. And then they said they're almost 60 years old. I mean, I barely graduated high school. I graduated with a 1.6 GPA. But your boy can count by 20 a lot. I have a lot of experience counting by 20. And I tell you, 20 years doing this, 40 years doing that, and you're less than 60 years old, either you're a horrible nurse, a horrible attorney, or both, or you're like, you reincarnated, or you're the world's first genius embryo. I don't know. Like, how is this happening? And it insult your audience by calling us a bunch of women, highlighting they aren't one. We'll get to that. The math ain't mathin'. Exactly, the math ain't mathin'. Like, saying like everything that they're saying, I've seen in their Reddit history that they've posted things that show you're not those things. If you post, because this moderator of the subreddit posted at an alarming rate. Like, they could not possibly hold down a full-time job and post this as much as they were. And to put it to you this way, from the time that they started their Reddit account, which was July of last year, till the end of April, they've posted and commented 3,150 times when I first started doing research on them. 3,150 times. That's crazy. So, but all those posts, and they're posting in other subreddits and things like that. So it's like, I'm getting an idea of what type of the person this is, and it's just not adding up. You're not, if you're a lawyer, why are you posting Jen's derivative use immunity by an attorney and you're not the attorney talking about it? Nor do you say what type of attorney type of law you specialize in. There's all kinds of, there's entertainment attorneys, there's intellectual property attorneys, there's real estate attorney. I'm not going to get a real estate attorney if I'm facing something, like, come on. So you're using other attorneys' websites to explain Jen's derivative use immunity deal when you could do that yourself if you're an attorney. Then you're a nurse and you're talking about other things related to health in other areas, but you don't say that you're a nurse. And a community advocate, I don't know what that, I really don't know what that means all out. I don't. And then they said they're an ombudsman in prisons. Now, that type of job is like to handle inmate grievances with the people that run the prison. Now, I found that to be wildly just out of this. I don't know what that sounded crazy, because this is a criminal case. And you're asking questions in your posts about how inmates get things from one place to another if they're in solitary confinement. If you're helping inmates that are going through things, grievances with whoever's running the prison, that's like one of the first things you would know is how the inmate prison economy works. But you don't know that. And then you can't just say prisons. Like, hold up. Sorry. You can't just say prisons. You have to say a state prison or a jail or supermax. You have to be a little bit more specific. You just can't say prisons. You have to say state or federal, medium, minimums, special needs, like whatever. It doesn't work that way. And if you're around inmates, you would know that. So this resume is crazy. And they said they're almost 60. Like, my mom will be 60 this year. And I just can't imagine that kind of her boasting that kind of resume. And she can exaggerate too. She can exaggerate a lot, but like that would be crazy for her, And so, so then I'm like, so this is what I do. I'm starting to go go through their Reddit history. Mind you, the whole premise of pseudoscience was was originally about to be about Stefan's Reddit history and the patterns I noticed there. And I can tell you, I have a type of pattern recognition that most people don't have. I can't enumerate it. All I can do is show you, and that's why I do videos. And so, but then this thing happens, and I'm like, all right, we're talking to you now. So I look and I notice what they're not doing when they're not active. And I'm looking at other accounts that they interact with. And if you're a lawyer, all right, involved in 10 other things at the same time, how do you have time to be on YouTube or Reddit? Exactly. Thank you, Jennifer. And so and I noticed another account that they seem to have these tandem interactions with, and they never disagree with, because I'm looking at it like, who else do they talk to this recklessly? No, not really many other people. And no one at doing what they were doing, like making like 2 or 3 posts after the one I ignored, And so I take their whole Reddit history from the day they started to April 27th, and I download their whole post and comment history in the archive. I archived it because I know that I knew the video I was going to come out with, that they would go back and delete things or delete my video, which it ended up being both. So I have it all anyway. And so I go and I take their history and then that second account, all their history. And then I run a formula on it to where it takes all the timestamps and every date, every time that they post, and I have them in each column. Then I run another formula that looks at the times when they are going back and forth, like within a few minutes. I take those 2 times, and then I look for any space that they're not posting, because I think it's the same person. So they'll be posting, and when they stop, if it's over 3 hours, once one of them starts again, the next one starts within 5 minutes. So I take that metric and I look at how often that happens. If they're not posting for 3 hours or more, and then they start up again, how often has that situation happened in the past 2 months? And it was over 60 times. It's definitely the same person. So, being that the second person is a moderator on another Madeline Soto subreddit, I took 4 or 5 moderators from the different subreddits, and then I put the same metric on them. Now, some of them they're dormant for long periods of time, and they're not super active. So But when they would be active and have that tandem, it would be with a different account. So it's almost like there will be the main post and then the backup cheerleader, and then the backup cheerleader will have their backup cheerleader. So, and they all fit that same metric. And I'm starting to look at all the other posts that they make in different subreddits, and they all read the same. But no matter what, they never post at the same time. As active as some of them are, they never post at the same time. So it doesn't matter what subreddit they're in. This person is cycling through different subreddits, different usernames, and they're basically building what's called a legend. Like if someone's undercover or something, so they look like they're doing normal stuff, they'll build a legend, which basically is their cover. All right. So they'll post in different political things and maybe TV shows or dogs or things like that. And then I see a newer username, and I'm looking at some of the other ones that post, the H Ghost guy, full name and all that stuff. And I'm seeing something that's just like, these photos are taken in the same house. Now, I can do shit like that. I can look at something that's and I'm different, okay? I can tell. And I'm like, this is taken in the same house. Not only in the same house, I could tell you that from the perspective of both pictures. I did it toward the end, but I didn't really get too far into it because I knew that this would become, it was going to get taken down, or I'd have to back it up with some serious data. And so I was spent more time preparing the data for if and when it got taken down. So I knew what was sufficient for the video, but I knew what was sufficient for the long-term, the longevity of the life of the video, because I wasn't going to put all this out there and then get taken down. I was ready for when I got that email that it was taken down, that I was going to be prepared with something that's it's going to bring it back to life, right? So I'm noticing that these photos are taken in the same house, pretty much. So I could say in one perspective of the picture, I can tell in the next picture, the person's in the next room facing this way. The camera's facing this way in this picture. The next one is facing the other direction, and they're about 7 feet apart. They're maybe 7 feet from each other and maybe 3 feet back. Like I can tell I'm like that. And I can tell you, but I can really show you. But I didn't want to go there with that first video because I knew what they would need to get it taken down if they were to take it down. And that's another part of it. I took a lot more data than what I presented in that video. There's more usernames that fit that same data use pattern. And I'm connecting it to YouTube now, to where they're talking about another channel on YouTube, and I'm looking at that and I'm seeing this is basically, you have like, there's like guilty of crime snark, where they go in on Jay Scott, and that's pretty much it. But it's like this is a personal gripe. If you're making a YouTube video about one YouTube channel, you got a whole lot of time on your hands, and then try to talk about me. Like, I'm not even a big YouTube channel. I got 5,500 subscribers, and if you doing this to me, all right. I mean, okay. Like, they try to post. Oh man. So they try to like post and say, first of all, they try to say, oh, he's not a felon. Like, why would I lie about that? Like, I did used to like not lie, but like not tell like when I would apply for jobs, and I saw where that would get me. I'd get walked out. Like, sometimes I'd be decent on the interview, and then they're like, a couple days later, they're like, come on. And that's embarrassing. So I'm just straightforward with it. It's it's not something for me to hide. And so don't care, you're a fellow. Exactly. Well, that's how I think it should be. Like, well, all right. And depending on what job you're going after. I wouldn't trust someone who's been convicted of identity theft and financial fraud to work at a bank. I mean, you gotta have some discernment there with that. Like, nah. So, but like RSOs, like there's something, they're different. They're not. They don't fit in the rest of criminality. There's something. They are other. They're not part of humanity. In my opinion, they're not. Especially if you hurting children, or if you're interested in that type of imagery that does so, you're the same. So, where was I going with this? So I took back to the photos. There was one of the profiles that posted photos of that dude, and they weren't like screenshots. These were like direct uploads. Like, I looked at the resolution of them, and I can tell these are straight up uploads. So, and then when I saw the picture of that dog, I knew they were taken in the same place. And there was one post that was where the main moderator, Jen Soto, the Impossible Spray one, was saying like, I've been accused of being H Ghost, and it just read so phony. And they posted that AI pic saying like, this is not Ben. Now, as I said, I'm different. I don't need AI for certain things. For things that people use AI for, I do on my own. So I look at a photo, I don't see it the way you do. I just don't. And I look at both the photos. The one of them, the H Ghost person, and the other one was that weird looking lady, the AI lady, and I'm like, that's the same photo. That is a derivative of that photo. Now, I saw oh man, hold up. So the sock puppets over at Reddit, like, oh, they think it's the like, I morphed the picture. I have morphed pictures before. You've seen it in my videos, but I didn't morph it because it doesn't need to be morphed. It's the same photo, structurally the same photo. All I had to do was layer them. I just put the pupils together, I didn't have to turn the picture or anything. Once I put the pupils together, the mouth lined up, the shadows in the AI picture matched up with the creases in the chair, the books on the shelf, all that I didn't go over in the video. And then Ninja True Crime, as analytical as she is, you could have just emailed me and just been like, how did you do this? But you think I did AI for that? But this is what she does. She goes and puts, I can tell what she did because I can look at something and usually tell like how something's put together. And I noticed that all right, so what she did was she took that AI lady of the impossible spray person and you went on to one of those free morphing websites and just put their picture with like the Duchess of whatever Shire and then Julia Roberts as to make it seem like that's what I did on my video. There's a reason why your videos do not look like mine. You know that, right? So you go and use that free website to morph pictures and it looks all choppy and you say I did that, like I did something like that use AI. No A. I does this. And you were halfway there. All you had to do is put the irises together. Everything else lines up. And then you take an AI. I did that to show how the AI photo was a derivative of another photo. And you took an AI photo as if it was an actual photo. And then had the fucking nerve to say, don't be fooled by digital manipulation. How many levels of irony is that in your caption? And don't delete it now, because when this is all cleared up, I'm gonna show you exactly how you're wrong. Don't fuck with me on my craft. And then I see that the sock puppets are back in Reddit, like posting her video. That's how I found out about it. How's that gonna look in a short amount of time? When I show you how you shouldn't be fooled by digital manipulation. And who's manipulating you in the digital world? You've emailed me before and you didn't do it. I'm not here to just flame you over this, but I found it really weird that you made a short out of one aspect of the video toward the end, but all the information from the very beginning up to the 13th minute, you don't have anything to say. You only go by the photo part, but you don't go by the whole photo. And then you want to hashtag slander? I know it's easy to be dismissive and say some nigga in a mask just put some shit together with AI, but I'm telling you, I'm like that. I this is what I do. I do this for other people. I don't have a job. And the thing is I can just talk like this easily and talk about everything that came up in this video because you know what's easy? Telling the truth. Right? So it's a shame you got fooled by them. Like, think about this. You watch that video and you see your little whoever over on Reddit, and you know that I made a video saying these 5 Reddit usernames and these 2 YouTube channels, one of them without any content, the one that you're saying this is this woman, don't know who it is, but it's an AI derivative of a grown man on the West Coast. And and you see a video that says this is all one person and it's this RSO. And they all have the same reaction. Oh, we're talking to ourselves. Oh, we're talking to ourselves. That's impossible to get all that data. Well, no. If you go to any normal person and you claim that they're an RSO and they're not, they will go off. Right? That's not like a light accusation. You have to like, and all right, put it this way. If someone is in the criminal world and you say there are an RSO, that's you have to have documentation of that. There's certain things that you can't just say without documentation, immediate documentation. It's just the way it works. And I have enough documentation to say that this is this type of these people is one person and that's them. And then they joke about it, and then the other that one channel says, oh, we're just talking to ourselves. Oh, this is my AI voice. They joke about it and they're dismissive on it. But one of those people will be like, you hold up, where are you getting this from? They would ask for immediate clarification if someone would have pressed them on that. But no. And then I get like a privacy strike on my video. And if you do a privacy strike on a video, you have to tell the YouTube Google people who you are in order to say your privacy was violated. And the timestamp is that one guy. So who else could it be? I don't play. I really don't. And then this person's like, I saw their little video and they're trying to like I think they know who I am, and they're like, and then they showed like a picture that showed like part of my face, and then try to say like insinuate like I was law enforcement or something like that because they found a picture of me in a suit. And that's a damn good picture of me too. You know that, right? And then the picture of me in a suit, I have a lapel pin. And so they try to insinuate that I'm like law enforcement, like because I have a blue suit with a white shirt and a tie. That means I'm law enforcement. Come on, bro. And then like it's just like part of my face, but it's like they were trying to say like, oh, I know what you look like. I'll show you people your face. See what happens. If you show my face, you'll see my face. You're gonna have to up the game and start doing more stupid stuff like you know, like how you do. Try to take my videos down. What else you gonna do? Try to find out where I live and stuff like that. Because that's all you got left. Because you can't show who you are. You can't do the normal things that if I was really saying something that was false, you have to go that route. That's why you try taking you succeeded for right now. But if you keep doing it, YouTube will know that this is something that these type of people do. And you probably do know who I am, and you probably know where I'm at. And that's why you feel comfortable. Because if I was over there, well, what do you think? What kind of violations will we be talking about then, huh? Think about that. What kind of violations will we be talking about? It'd be public too. Show my face, you'll see my face. I'm not that bad looking, honestly. I mean, so if you do that, like, I don't know what you think that's gonna happen, because I for damn sure don't look like you. All right. One other thing. Off of that, off what that dude. Back to the original reason for pseudoscience is that a lot of people talked about individual posts that Stefan Sterns had on Reddit, and they would focus it on them. But that's it. Stefan Sterns is aesthetically tragic, okay? But very methodical day to day. He's probably, I've never seen someone as ritualistic as this before, and it's documented. So I was going through, just like I did with all those posts from those people, I did for Stefan's account. Stefan, if you compare them to his Reddit posts, to the dates of his CSAM charges, to other things that he's done, he buys vapes on Mondays and Wednesdays. Like that. He does he posts about certain things certain days of the week. He doesn't, if you take the CCM evidence from June of 2023 and just take Monday, the day of the week, and then you take that frequency and stretch it out over a year, his Reddit posts are overlap that. Like it's like he'll like Sundays, Sunday night, Monday morning, he'll do something. Hold up one second. Yo en vivo ahorita. ¿Cuándo viene? No, what? Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. Hold up. All right. Anyway, he'll have these times where he's just not posting. And then he'll post about what he bought. And it's like it all goes with my theory on how they make money with CCM sales, D-rug sales. And it's weird. It's like this man is like militant with this weird stuff. If you took all of Stefan's posts and comments on Reddit and you made one long sheet of just like a scroll, right? A crazy scroll, right? And you put it horizontally and you take the posts that have the most things written and then you just take each of the most written posts that have the most material in them in terms of like how much he says, they will repeat. So he posts about certain things on certain days, the amount that he posts on certain days, what he talks about when he posts on certain days, what he talks about when he buys on certain days, what he talks about how other people can buy what he just bought on certain days, how he talks about certain things with just everyday life on certain days. This dude is like OCD in a whole different way that I've ever seen. And that's what pseudoscience was originally supposed to be about. Which subreddits are we talking about? He's got like the different gaming was like Lorcana, Tamagotchi, Warhammer. He cycles through those. But when it comes to like everyday life ones or like things where he has where he feels like he can give advice, he has a weird way of it's like on his posts when it comes to the different games, he sounds helpful. He sounds like I'm trying to help you learn something or get something which other people are too greedy, they don't want to tell you about. Then he has other ones where he talks down on people, where he has a like this holier than thou moral code. You see what I mean? It's weird. So but it all cycles on days of the week. It's bizarre. YouTube bad actors. What's up? Out there doing God's work. But yo, Stefan Sterns is a very complex individual with the most disheveled aesthetic. It's very weird. And that's what this was all gonna be about. And then I'm not gonna say what. I'll you can guess what. All right, I'll make part 3 about Stefan, because part 2 is gonna be about someone else you're very familiar with. And it's not a long episode, but I'll have it out pretty quick. I promise. It's basically done. I just had to split it between old boy and this person because I had a feeling this was going to happen. But yo, I need to do some things. But I just wanted to update y'all on stuff, and I appreciate y'all like for tuning in, like with no notice, and and hooking me up with like the super chats. Yo, thank you. This is the first time I've gone live and done like the super chats, because I did the live before, but I didn't have it monetized. I didn't know how to do that, but now I know how to do it. But I appreciate y'all, even if y'all don't super chat. If you just like tune in, I'm good with that. So let me get back to making videos and stuff, and I gotta cut the grass because it's looking like out there. And that phone call I got was let me know that I need to go cut the grass before she gets home, because it's looking crazy. But yo, so like there's a rabbit that just had like babies back there. The grass was getting a little bit high, but when I saw the rabbit like making a nest, I let the grass to get crazy so so she could have her kids. And I have a squirrel in the front, and I feed him, and then there's a bird that lives in the garage. So I got like these animals. So I feed the rabbit. I give the rabbit spinach and romaine lettuce, and she likes that. Like she shows up at the door. Maybe I'll get the GoPro and I'll record her. But yeah. So I'm gonna have to cut the grass around the nest. But I like feeding the wild animals. But I can't what's the word? Sacrifice the what's it called? That's the word for it in home insurance. It's called pride of ownership. So like if you don't have pride of ownership, like you won't get home insurance, because they think it's not dilapidated by any means. It's just that I have the grass in the backyard. It's kind of crazy, and like I don't even use the garage right now because I like having the birds in there, and I have stuff all in the garage for the birds. So like there's a couple nests in there, but I kind of like them in there, and I know they're safe. And the rabbit had like 3 little bunnies. I might go and like take a picture of them or something for y'all. But all right, that's the end of my soapbox. And I'll see y'all later. And